Hello and welcome to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment. We're going to be speaking with Stacey Crew. She's joining us here to discuss her brand new book, Mind, Body, Kitchen, Transform You and Your Kitchen for a Healthier Lifestyle. Welcome to Health Professional Radio, Stacey Crew. Thank you for joining us this evening.
You're welcome. Nice to be here, Neil. Thanks for having me.
You're a certified health coach and an organizing expert. Tell us how these two areas of expertise influenced the writing of Mind, Body, Kitchen.
Yeah, great question. So I have a publishing and marketing background, but when I started a family, I had an opportunity to start a business as well. And so after doing some personal soul searching, and I had already accumulated a lot of stuff, 3 years into marriage and one kid already part of our family, and I had a second. We had bought a bigger house to put all the stuff in, and I just found that I was surrounded by things that, I was overwhelmed. I wasn't entirely happy with my surroundings. And so I started an organizing business, did that for many years. And then as I progressed, what happened was I started to feel like something was missing, and I started on a personal wellness journey. And right around that same time, my kids had grown. They were approaching teenage years, and they had both become vegetarian within 6 months of one another. So between my personal health journey, and I was running at the time, and my kids trying to figure out what I was going to feed everybody became a challenge, but, a welcome challenge, of course. And as we progressed on that journey, I decided to become a health coach. I was learning things that I thought were really important for other people to understand and know. And that's when I got a health coaching certification. And I combined the two to write the book. It's kind of my way of organizing information and communicating it.
Had you ever been, you say you were running at the time, so obviously you were interested in health. Had you, up until that time, never tried to do a diet or anything like that? You were just running and relatively healthy?
Yeah, I've been really fortunate, probably have good genes, that I was relatively healthy, but I wasn't healthy in the way that, we can all be a little bit healthier, right? So at the time, I had a sugar addiction, a mild sugar addiction. I just sort of, like other people, got on the caramel macchiato train, at Starbucks every day, and was drinking a venti every day. And, I loved cookies and I loved savory food just as much, but the sugar really was not serving me well. So what I found as I started running and really, extending myself physically, that I needed better nutrition. Just no bones about it. I was starting to feel it and just started to make these small shifts. So I started with smoothies, before I really knew anything about nutrition. And I was still putting like orange juice in my smoothies early on. So, I was making small shifts, towards healthier choices. But it was a progression, quite a long progression, actually. And so what I found is all of the things that I've learned over the years, what I've been able to do is kind of condense them into my book to give people very simple, fast ways to start improving their health.
In your book, you write about the importance of organizing one's kitchen, as an organizing expert. Why is this a critical step when it comes to trying to lead a healthier lifestyle? Why is it so important to organize your kitchen? Isn't eating right or correctly the main thing?
Sure, but the kitchen is the heart of the home. It's where we cook our meals. And, if it's not organized in a way that makes it simple for people to get in and out and prepare simple, healthy meals, that's an obstacle, right? So we want to try and eliminate obstacles. So having an organized kitchen, and keeping recipes simple. Sometimes I think it doesn't have to be complicated. So it's just removing obstacles. And one of those things is just creating order in the kitchen and in the fridge and the pantry primarily, because that's where we keep our food.
In your book, you talk about getting a mindset of organization and healthy living. Is there an easy way to do that for someone who has just not really been thinking about it at all, and all of a sudden, like you did,
Yeah, so the mind, in the mind body kitchen comes first because, we need different thinking to make change. So if we focus on what our thinking is currently, like, for example, as a coach, I see a lot of people struggle with the idea of dieting, diet and dieting, that's had a negative connotation, or in my opinion, over the years, that's become a negative connotation. And so there are lots of ways to think differently and approach lifestyle changes. And that's really what it is. It's not so much dieting and just this is a temporary thing. My goal has always been to move people in the direction of making long-lasting, sustainable change. And the way that you do that is adopting a mindset of a growth mindset, really, where you're open to learning, you're open to making these small changes that over time really do result in or you can get big results over time.
You say your kids decided to become vegetarians within a short period of time of each other, just as you were embarking on your healthier lifestyle journey. How difficult is it, to get kids to eat healthy? Did you have, just because they were vegetarian, did they have healthy habits at that point? And did you not have to deal with teaching them how to eat healthy because they were doing it on their own?
Well, that's such a big question, but I love it. And I'll try and condense it here. So I grew up in a family where, my mom I was a single parent home, and my mom always had a routine for us, which to this day, I'm truly grateful that she set that routine because we always had dinner together at least 5 nights a week, where and at the time, of course, many, many years ago, we didn't have the distraction of cell phones and all of that. But I brought that same practice into raising my daughters. So we would sit down and we would eat together. It just shifted, in what we were preparing. And I think my girls in their decision to become vegetarian had a lot to do with animals and, and personal choices on their part. So were they eating healthier? Because you can be vegetarian and not eat healthy, right? You could eliminate meat, but still eat, potato chips. So it was a natural progression for us as a family. And for that, I'm grateful that it wasn't just me. So I wasn't trying to introduce things that were foreign to them. We kind of made all of these decisions together. And in the process, realized that if we incorporated more vegetables, that's part of being vegetarian, but it's a healthy part as well. So the other point I wanted to make too, as a parent, of course, when you have young children, you're serving them, what, you have influence, right? And you can use that influence positively or negatively. And I know because when I was younger and I did enjoy some sugar, we would have some sweets around the house. But as I started to incorporate more healthy habits, and my kids got a little bit older, I was influencing them in ways like we would look for recipes that were sweet in nature, but they had better ingredients, like healthier ingredients. So there's always a way to, as a parent in that role, to influence your family, in their choices. They're, of course, they become teenagers. They might have a little spending money. They go out. They can make their own choices. But at least, in the home, it's possible to have a healthy influence.
Mind Body Kitchen. Transform you and your kitchen for a healthier lifestyle. Give us a website where we can learn more about you and about your book.
So the best way and the easiest way to reach me is at staceycrew.com. That's STACEYCREW.com. And Mind Body Kitchen is available on Amazon.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you this evening. I appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Health Professional Radio. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Stacey Crew, certified health coach and organizing expert, talking about her brand new book, Mind Body Kitchen, Transform You and Your Kitchen for a Healthier Lifestyle. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Listen in, download at SoundCloud, and be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Health Professional Radio.